Here's a quiz for you. Do you remember the first reality show in history? It was a 1973 documentary called American Family about a real family in Santa Barbara, California. And the producers couldn't have predicted the parents of that family were going to get divorced on camera. But it revealed a dynamic that's powered reality TV ever since. Conflict is key. In 1992, MTV debuted a new series based on that show, The Real World, and unscripted TV was never the same. Then business executives figured out another ingredient, celebrities. Adding celebrities to unscripted reality spawned several hits that Americans did love. Flava Flav and Flavor of Love debuted 10 years ago. Then the Osbournes, Celebrity Fit Club, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Now, several of those shows were developed by Michael Hirshhorn as a programming executive for VH1. And he argues celebrity reality is popular because it's a logical extension of our deep human instincts for competition and status played out across a larger-than-life celebrity tableau, celebrities that Americans have come to identify with. Hirshhorn has written that the granddaddy of them all, Celebrity Apprentice, works because it offers a picture of Darwinian competition in a business hamster cage, a set of modern psychological experiments that place real people in artificial situations to see what happens. Now, as far as many voters were concerned, this past presidential campaign was offered as a series of celebrity contests that was good for ratings and obviously good for the master of that medium, Donald Trump. But is this lens any way to cover a new government, let alone run it? Our guest today, fittingly, is executive Michael Hirshhorn. Thanks for being here.
That's great to be here. I feel like I'm the stripper that comes in at the end of the party just to lighten the mood up a little bit.
You are that person.
An honor to be that person.
And you're here because you understand this language. This has dominated this election cycle, but many are concerned about Trump as a celebrity president. What is your advice to people concerned about that?
Well, I think it's important. I think what some of the conservatives have said is correct, to not take him literally, to take him seriously, but not literally. Trump was speaking to an audience of people that really understood reality TV. People like us, like well-meaning, urbanites, tend not to watch reality TV. We don't understand that language, and it's a very different language from the one we're used to talking. It's a language that likes conflict, that's a language about being an alpha male, about dominance, and it doesn't actually seek any kind of resolution. And Trump is really the greatest celebrity reality talent of all time.
You just said something so important. I want to repeat it. Reality TV fights don't seek resolution. So what do they seek?
They seek endless conflict, because conflict is interest.
That sounds familiar. When you say endless conflict, I work in the news, but it sounds familiar to Donald Trump and the way that he has orchestrated not only his victory, right, his Electoral College victory, but also the transition period. Conflict with Kellyanne Conway, did she speak for him or not? Conflict with Mitt Romney, is this a real date or not?
Right. It literally is The Bachelor. Down to the candlelit dinner with Mitt Romney, after which he's kicked off the show at the end of the hour, right after the commercial break. So everyone has been kind of sucked in, including this network, CNN, other networks, into really covering this presidency, or the incipient presidency, as a kind of reality show. Everybody wins. It's a proven formula that's great for ratings. It's, of course, terrifying for the country, because there's nothing to do with governance. And I think the thing that I've found about reality talent is that reality talent, really great reality talent, either doesn't know or soon forgets the difference between reality and television. And Trump feels to me like someone where, like, we don't really know if he understands what the joke is or not. And that, if I came across this guy and I was like, I have a chance to put him on a show, I'd be like, this guy's awesome. I'm sure he's a lot of fun at a poker game or a dinner party, but as president, it's kind of terrifying.
So when you say the press shouldn't, in your view, fall into just covering this as reality show celebrity entertainment, but when that is what is on offer, right, that's the difference, is the president gets a certain amount of built-in coverage no matter whom he or she is.
Yes.
And as you just outlined, there are other incentives for this. So what do you actually think should be done differently against that onslaught of tense, conflict-oriented content?
Right. I think it's very hard because we're all like almost, we're almost like rats in a cage. We're just feeding off this. It's all about not watching the birdie, right? It's when he brings Al Gore in to talk about the environment and he appoints a rabidly anti-EPA person in charge of the transition. All of these things are misdirects, so it's crucial to just not pay attention at certain points. Like, we're all enabling this guy, and we're also all the saps that, you know, on any reality show, the person who breaks down and cries is the loser. So for liberals and progressives who are moaning and are upset and angry, that's a win in the reality TV production paradigm. And giving Trump that is really something that I think he wants and that people who support him want.
From that prism, do you think that he did better in the debates, according to the audience, as you describe it, for celebrity reality TV, than he was given credit for at the time, where the media said in 3 debates in a row he lost?
I think he was playing a completely different game than the one we were watching. And that game was, you know, when we go into a pitch meeting with a reality star, we say, go crazy, do some nutty stuff. Like, you know, it doesn't really matter what you say. Whereas I think in the news business, people are looking at him based on content. It really isn't about content. It's about show. It's about performance. It's about, I think, what Jeb Bush said, which is kind of endless chaos.
And yet, briefly, final point is reality shows themselves are not as popular as they once were.
Right. It's sort of, it's almost like they sort of birthed their demon spawn and now can kind of roll up and die. So, you know, reality is going to be around for a while, but it's not the cultural force it was, which is sort of fascinating.
Is that, though, because it's been diluted?
I think it's lost a little bit of the sense of fun that when we were doing it, you know, 8-10 years ago. I still make a number of reality shows, but as a seller instead of as a buyer. The buyers have, I think, to a certain degree, forgotten why reality is fun.
Michael Hirschhorn, thanks for taking us into your world. And